What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Just got home from work. Gonna be boxing up a statue just now. Someone reached out to me about a piece I had considered selling. I kind of posted, like, would anyone be interested in my group? And then this person was referred by another person, and we sold it. And that's the Hot Toys Infinity Gauntlet. We're gonna go ahead and sell that for space reasons. I have the Infinity Gauntlet, my Thanos bust, and I could use the space and the money and the box space. Goodness, the box space. So we sold it. We still need to sell this, guys. So if anyone is interested, I have lowered the price to $1,000 shipped. I've never seen it that low. It is mint condition. 2 big giant boxes. Shipping will probably be $250. So in reality, you're getting this for like $750, which is a fantastic deal. It's a really cool statue. I wish I could keep it, but you guys know that space is a collector's #1 enemy. That and money, I would say. Those are the 2 biggest enemies. Now I'm just out of space. You know, I was trying to do like this setup, and it's okay. However, ultimately, I think it's best we just sell that Infinity Gauntlet. Like, I do like that look. I think it looks cool. But I would prefer this Thanos not right there. It sticks out. It blocks a lot. It's a really big piece to put in my Civil War setup. And that's the whole idea, is to make this Civil War, not do Infinity Thanos. So we'll put him back here, move Groot back until we can eventually get a Hawkeye. Then we'll do Hawkeye there. But yeah, so the Infinity Gauntlet, I'm going to box that up in a few minutes. You know, but, you know, space is, of course, our #1 enemy. So I'm always trying to think up ways on how I could get more space. You know, and with a collection like mine, I have limited ground space. You know, and I've pretty much maxed out as much space as I could in terms of each collection room on the ground. The only available space is going up. You know, obviously going up is the only way. Now, unfortunately, I have low ceilings. Like, I can touch my ceiling. These are 8-foot tall ceilings. Upstairs in my bedrooms, it's 10 feet. My living room is 25 feet because it's vaulted ceilings. So here in my collection, there's only actually a few areas I can even go up in space. This is a giant beam, so there's just no way to get around this. I have been thinking up ways if I wanted to bring the Prime 1 Predator in this room. And I think the absolute best way to do Prime 1 Predator in this room is to probably, honestly, just put it where Cinemaquette is, do Deep Tail Bust right there, and do the Cinemaquette with the bust and the Hunter Victim right here. Move that Underworld. That is the only thing I can think on how we can move Prime 1 Predator to this room. And if Prime 1 Predator is going to go here, I think at that point I'm going to just up and sell XM, lower that bust. It doesn't need to be up high. I'll sell actually both XMs in that, like, if we do this. Lower that bust there, and this will give us spot for 2 more Prime 1 Predators, Berserker and Wolf. Now, the thing is, we got that Sideshow Wolf, and I won't sell that. I freaking love that Wolf to death. Unfortunately, it's too tall to go down low, so we're kind of limited, and I really don't want it next to Prime 1 Predator, so I need to move it. You know, I need to move it. If we're going to do Prime 1 Predator like right here and here, let's say we do Berserker, Wolf. I mean, I could do Wolf Bust in the corner, but that Wolf Predator is too tall to go down low. Unless you boost that shelf up, which I don't want to do. So it's definitely kind of a tricky one, because I would not sell that Wolf Predator. Even if Prime 1 comes out with the Ultimate Wolf, I still would keep that one just because it has a very special place in my heart. You know, it is like my first original grail for me. When I first got into collecting, that was the best statue I'd ever seen. I drove to Colorado to get it. I was the most excited kid. I was like a 8-year-old on Christmas morning opening that ultimate toy when I opened that piece. But, I mean, if we didn't have the Hunter Victim, I could do Wolf Predator, Cinemaquette, and the bust right here. You know, just like a mini setup of my other Predators. And then you could do the 3 Prime 1 Predators right here. You know, that potentially could work. Alternatively, hear me out, we keep this as is. Deep tail, the big bust is too tall to fit right here. That's the reason I was going to put it over there. It's too tall. It is like 51 inches tall, I think, or 55. Maybe it's 51. It's stupid tall, you know, and I only have 46 inches to the top of this. Like, I would barely even be able to fit Neytiri right here. If I got her, she would literally, like, probably have her head hitting this. So I was thinking if I got the smaller deep tail bust, the 37-inch one, which is roughly the size of that. You know, I could even boost it up slightly and then add some leaves on the base. I could do the smaller deep tail bust. I could just change my pre-order to the smaller one and then do Prime 1 Predator here with the deep tail bust. It's a potential option. Or if we get the smaller deep tail bust, I'll be like, at that point, do I even need to have the 2 Predator busts? At that point, I'd probably just sell the Aliens FX and do deep tail over there and throw 2 Prime 1 Predators right here. I mean, I could only fit 2. If you want 3, it has to go on that wall. You know, so that's why it's like, it's definitely a tricky one. And the Berserker Predator is set to ship probably in the next month or 2, so I gotta decide real quickly if we're gonna do the Prime 1 Predator line. What would make it easiest if I could do Prime 1 Predator line in the middle of the room. But we do have the T-Rex bust coming. Now, I'm still like iffy if I'm even going to get that T-Rex bust. I got a tracking number, but who knows if it actually was shipped. Who knows if it'll actually be delivered. I kind of feel like until that is delivered or not, I'm a little like AWOL right now when it comes to the Prime 1 Predator line. Because I really want it. But it also doesn't scale good, and I feel like it has to kind of be separated. You know, I feel like it could work right here if we do like a Predator bust and one-third setup, especially like Cinemaquette with the Hunter Victim and a bust would work great right here. Prime 1 right there will look a little too tall next to that, especially next to those. And I really like how it looks right now. I feel like it looks so freaking good. The scaling with the 2 busts is flawless. The 1/3 scale, extremely good. So, yeah, it's definitely a tricky one when it comes to space on my AVP line. You know, if we did it mid-room, I would do 2 back-to-back 60-inch garage shelves. That's what I do, 60 inchers. And they would be about as tall as this. You know, just like enough space up to where I could put all the heads underneath and then fit comfortably 3 or 4 Prime 1 Predators in the mid-room. You know, although 60 inches, God, that's so wide. Maybe just do the 48. Because this is 44 and it's already pretty wide and limited walking space right there. Of course, I would push it back a little bit, but maybe just do 48. 2 48 back-to-back. I mean, if you put them side by side, you know, you could still fit 2. It might hang off a little bit. But 2 back-to-back 48 inchers would work. If we want to do 3 Predators or 4 Predators, you know, we have the city, it's not City Victim, City Hunter that just shipped. A lot of collectors are getting. It's kind of crazy. That one's like waitlisted all over Prime 1, yet, you know, the original OG Jungle Hunter, which I still think is far superior. This statue has the worst resale value of any Prime 1 statue pretty much ever. Even though it's arguably one of their absolute best statues ever made. You know, I had someone email me saying they wanted to buy it for $2,500 shipped, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work, bud. This thing cost me $3,500. That cost me $1,000. You know, this is $500. Like, this whole setup is $5,000. I'm not going to sell it for half that. No way. Especially considering how really good it is. If we keep Prime 1 Predator in here, we can just do the deep tail bust here and call it a day. We don't do Berserker. We cancel, lose my $350 deposit, and we call it a day. You know, we know Prime 1 Predator line is phenomenal, but there's also issues of it being overscaled, extremely expensive, tons of boxes. You know, there's like a lot of pros and cons to that line. Obviously, it's extremely tall, extremely good detail. Like, crazy good statues, but man, the boxes needed, the overscaled. I like my statues to scale good. I don't like them being overscaled. It bugs me. That's why I sold the Vegeta bust. It was too big. If that Vegeta bust was scaled like, better, I probably would have kept it. But that overscaled, when I put my hand next to Vegeta's hand and it was double my size, I was like, yeah, that's a no bueno. Like, look at Goku's hand to mine. You see how that's like roughly the same size? That to me tells me that this is about proper scale. Now, Vegeta is smaller, but the fingers are roughly the same size. Maybe just his head is small. Now, I do wish he was a little bit bigger, but I think KD is still the best scaled DBZ bust out there. Every other scale out there just feels too big. And I'm just like, these are not, like, the only big ones should be like Piccolo, Broly, and freaking Cell. Like, those are the big characters. Everyone else is pretty small. Like, Goku and Trunks are less than 6 feet, and I'm 6'4". Like, I'm a big dude, and I work out. So, it's not like they should be much bigger than Flankster. Like, Kratos is appropriately scaled. He's 7-foot god. He's huge. His arms are bigger than mine. His hands are bigger. His head's slightly bigger. He feels absolutely perfect in terms of scaled for like a 7-foot tall god. Like this would be like a big basketball player weightlifter. That feels appropriately scaled to me. So I really like proper scaling, and that's my biggest issue with Prime 1 Predator line. I don't like the fact it's like almost half scale, not 1/3. The only thing that scales with it is other Prime 1 Predators. Busts do work with it. And that's why I was getting the deep tail bust. And if we did move Prime 1 Predator in here, then we would put Hulkbuster there or Neytiri bust. One brother says do Neytiri, the other says do Hulkbuster. I do like the idea of Hulkbuster over there. I really do. I also don't like, it's such a pain. But trying to kick this headache so I could go to the gym here in the next minute, and I got to box up the Hot Toys gauntlet, but it's also really hot right now in Utah. So, hoping the heat will die down later. It's 93 degrees, in Utah. So I'm hoping the heat will die down. I could box up that Hot Toys Infinity Gauntlet, which I do think is a great piece. I've always liked it, but we just don't have the need for it with this Ultimate Thanos. And that thing is, a pretty good space hog. It's like a, 15.5 by 15.5, 30-inch tall piece. So it takes up quite a bit of space, and we need this space, folks. So I know technically I could keep everything as is, but I would prefer that Thanos to go back over here. Now, this is my, like Infinity War Endgame setup. This is my Civil War, so I just want to keep it, ideally just like Civil War, just in general, like all Avengers, no villains. I don't want a villain on this wall. I want it all Avengers. This is my villains display. So, yeah. But I will say that Prime 1 Predator has definitely been high up on my mind. I've been seeing the City Hunter photos. I think it looks great. I kind of do want it. But space is just my enemy. Plus, it is, $3,500 if I wanted to get that. Probably have to get it through a retailer at this point if I wanted to get it. I'd only need the DX, not the one with all the bones. That thing's like $7,000. I am very happy with my AVP wall right now. Like, I really am. In a perfect world, I'd just take my upstairs spare bedroom, throw all my Prime 1 Predators and everything in there. But the wife has made it very clear that no statues upstairs. Although she did tell me, folks, if I paid her $10,000, she'd allow me to do the Queen T-Rex upstairs. I'm like, dude, that's more than double the cost of the frickin' bust. That thing cost me like, $5,500. I'm not going to pay you $10,000. Oh my goodness. Still, it would be sick to have that upstairs. Next to my TV upstairs. Anytime I'm watching TV, I just see it. That'd be so cool. I'd have to dust it weekly. It's dustier upstairs. Anyways, folks, I was just taking a break from work. Got home from the office and was touring my man cave real quickly. And these are just a couple things on the Flankster's mind right now. So Darkside Bust is officially in Salt Lake City, Utah, and will be arriving Wednesday, the day you guys are seeing this video. So you're going to see Darkseid Bust's unboxing review tomorrow. According to the weight, it's 238 pounds. Of course, that probably includes the pallet, all the boxes. You know, I think the bust probably weighs like 100 pounds if I was to guess. I know some people have said it's very heavy, at least like the base, the body's not that heavy, which is fine. But I'm excited to see it in here. I've been waiting a long time. Of course, like, I'm not going to be able to see that anymore from this angle. I'm going to have to step to the side to see it. But it's going to look really cool next to him. I'm going to boost it up because I want the head to be as tall as him. And I know it's 38 inches tall, and that's like 41. So we're going to boost it up probably a solid 3 inches to get an equal height to his 1/3. You know, ideally, I always prefer the bust to be taller than the statue. I don't like a statue being taller than the bust. I mean, even like this, oh, that's not the ideal pair for me. The ideal pair is her next to her. That is a better look for me, but this is what it is. But, you know, just like something like this, you know, the bust is a little bit taller, eyes are equal level, that's perfect. You know, and anything infinity, like are this big 3 foot tall busts, they need a 1/3. 1/4 don't pair as good. When it's 1/4 next to a bust, it needs to be the smaller busts that are like 28 inches tall. You know, or like the size of that Reaper, for example. Like he's a little too small for the 1/3. I wish he was a little bit bigger. These require a 1/3. Like that's like a perfect look for me. But yeah, it'll be really excited to get this Darkseid bust. I think it's going to go really good here, considering we'll get, you know, a full 360-degree view, being able to view the, you know, the throne back here, which will look really cool. You walk around, you see it next to the 1/3. It's going to look sick. So I'm very excited. Iron Man bust. I don't know if you all saw the unboxing on Facebook in the VIP, like Anton Wu's group. But it looks so good. Oh my gosh. Like, that thing definitely is freaking quality. I swear, some of the photos literally look just like a screen still from like Avengers Endgame. You know, it literally looks like 99% Robert Downey Jr. likeness. The hair looks perfect. Like, it looks really good. And mine has shipped. I got working tracking number at this point. It's going to take a month to get here because we're doing C. It's a pretty big box. It's in like a crate, you know, similar to like the Hulkbuster ships in. So it's a big box. It's via C. It's going to take a hot minute to get here. But it's going to look so good. Some people have suggested even moving Doctor Strange over here and doing the Trinity together. I mean, theoretically, I could. You know, if I was to do that, I just probably... that's kind of a tricky one. I mean, I really like having the brothers next to each other. I got the hammers set up. It's hard to do, you know, like, do that. I mean, I could do Iron Man there, Thor there, and then what, move Doctor Strange there? I like Loki and Thor next to each other. The way I set it up looks really good. And the whole idea is to have the Trinity surrounding Thanos, which I still think works great. So I think, you know, the plan still just to do Iron Man here. It'll work really good. Gets great angles next to Cap. You know, Spider-Man, his protege underneath, next to Doctor Strange, who he, you know, had a lot of interaction with in the 2 movies. So I think this works really good. You know, I think when we get it in hands, we're going to be extremely happy with this bust. So anyways, folks, hope you'll enjoy this video. Darkseid bust is tomorrow. So really excited to get that in hands finally. It's been so long. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.